Trafalgar Square, London, on the 26th of September 2020. Thousands gathered to protest against the government handling of the coronavirus crisis. Well, I spoke to the protesters to find out why they had come along.
I'm here because I think something's wrong and things don't add up anymore. And I'm not 100% sure what is wrong, but I feel it in my bones that something is wrong. And I'm not believing what I'm told anymore. The rules don't make sense. The rule of 6 makes no sense. The closing pubs at 10 o'clock makes no sense. In fact, all of it makes no sense. My children are going to school in a dystopian style now, where they're having to wipe everything down and walk one way, and they can't do this and they can't do that, and I can't understand it. The figures don't seem to add up anymore, and the tests seem to be getting false positives, and we're making all our decisions on these tests and not, I don't think, on the death figures. And my heart
I can see the pain in your eyes. Is the pain in my eyes? You just came up to me and said thank you for what you're doing, Anna. I said, will you talk to me? You said, I don't know what to say, and I'm just a mother. You said, I'm just a mother. I am just a mother. I've come out of retirement really back into journalism because we've got to do something, and what's happening to our children doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so I've been following on Facebook, and I've walked around the crowd just to find you, to personally thank you, because that's how strongly I feel. Thank you for what you're doing.
My name's John Stenner, I'm from Essex, I'm a retired school teacher. This is the second demo that I've come to, and until we stand up and make our presence known, then people will get away with it. So it's a simple act of defiance against the system.
No, I've never really got into protest before at all, but I just feel so strongly about what's happening to us at the minute. And to my mind, it's just such an obvious, fraud's not too strong a word, and it's affected. We've just met these people on the train coming up from Teddington today. And this fella here, we used to be a chef, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, he's lost his £60,000 a year job. He really doesn't know what to do. He's got £5,000 left of his redundancy money. What does he do? And
you just met on the train, did you?
Met on the train.
Well, I'll go and have a word with him.
Yeah.
This is, you're not conspiracy theorists,
Not at all.
As my former colleagues seem to like calling you.
Well, yeah, but we're not. I mean, you just look at the general demographic of the people around here. They wouldn't really be described as far right. They're just concerned.
What's going on?
Massively about the future.
What is going on? What do you think is driving it?
I really don't know. I mean, I don't want to go to the sinister side of things, but when you sort of eliminate everything else, you do get pushed slightly into that direction. And never been I'd sell bathrooms for a living. So, I mean, I'm just straight down the line.
You sell bathrooms for a living?
That's what I do, So the furthest thing from a conspiracy is a toilet, I should imagine. But I just don't know what's going on, so I'm trying to get to the bottom of it and hope that...
Stick with Brees Media, stick with me, let's try and work out what's going on.
Thank you very much, it was lovely to meet you.
Yeah, let's see if that chap will speak to me.
Sure he will.
I think I really need to speak to you. I've just heard you've come down and you've met these guys, is that right? I'm just moving for the light. Where have you come from?
I live in Lymington on the south coast, and my name's Mark.
And why have you come along?
I mean, basically because I believe in democracy, freedom of speech and liberty, and I don't like the way this country's going at the moment.
You've been quite badly affected. Are you able to give us a little bit of an idea? Are you happy to say?
I'm a chef, and the hospitality trade is in ruins with the policies that are being put in place, and I was made redundant on the 3rd of July, and I've not been able to find work since. Couple more months and I won't be able to afford my rent. But
I'm sorry to hear that. And how do you feel the government and the media have handled this?
I think the media have been shocking. I mean, you have to dig like a mole to find truth, and you're one of the people that's putting it out there actually. And the way the government have handled the situation, at the start I was behind them 100%. I mean, I think we all were. We were frightened and wondered what was going on, but as time's gone on, it's become more and more obvious that this virus is nowhere near it's not as bad as a common cold, and yet these draconian measures are still being put upon us.
Well, we here on Brees Media do believe that there is a virus, and it is very serious to a certain part of the population, but we believe in an age-targeted strategy as supported by most epidemiologists, I think, top epidemiologists all around the world, that a certain, the older, over 65s, for example, could be sheltered while we build an immunity within the younger population, which we could have done over the summer, couldn't we, to protect us this winter, because there may never be a vaccine. You either have You either have herd immunity through natural infection or through vaccination. And that's the position of Brees Media, and I want to know why we're not following an age-targeted strategy.
Yeah, I mean, looking at what has gone on, what would have made complete sense would have been to have shielded the elderly. I believe that coronavirus is real. I'm not one of these people that thinks it doesn't exist. But when in human history have the well been quarantined? You know, people that are well should have been left to get on with their lives.
I don't agree with what the government is doing, really. That's basically it.
How passionate do you feel about this?
Well, I've got 2 children, so yeah, it's important that they grow up in a world that's not going to be a police state, really.
Thank you for talking to me. What about yourself? Do you mind me asking you the same questions? Why have you come along?
Starting to spit the ground.
Pretty much the same reasons, really. Not happy with what's going on. It's a very extreme way of dealing with something that's proven to be more and more less severe than it's made out to be originally. And I've got a son as well. So,
my name's Lee. I've come from Cardiff today.
Why are you here and what do you do and why are you protesting?
Freedom, really. I mean, the lockdown's been going on for so long now. I've looked at the evidence, the figures from the ONS. The ONS figures suggest that the death rate is very, very low. That's on the government website. And to have this amount of austerity and lockdown because of that, and they've just locked down again in Cardiff, I believe, since I came overnight.
What's your background? Have you protested before? What's your occupation?
I'm television. I've worked in television for 35 years. I used to do a bit of freelance photography. I was here when the war on Iraq was imminent, where I think there was about 1 million in Hyde Park that day. No effect whatsoever.
We all remember it. We do remember it.
Yeah. Well, we do remember it, yeah. But we still have the problem in the Middle East.
What do you think about the media at the moment and how their reports responding to this? Because I'm very disappointed with the reporting from the last protest, calling people conspiracy theorists, and that was across Sky, the Mail. I wasn't happy at all. What did you say in the media?
Oh, I mean, it's absolutely disgraceful. I used to work for the BBC, I used to work for Sky News, I've seen it on the inside, but it's 10 times worse than when I was there, to be honest. I have no time for it, and I don't actually watch it. Different, but I was doing some research back to, I think, 1947, when the BBC was so expert at propaganda in the Second World War that they tied up with Oxford University and became the media arm of what was a coalition before. Bankers, media was there, and the academics. So it's 1947, I think it was. Academics from Oxford worked with bankers and used BBC as the propaganda arm.
It's very difficult for people to get their head around the fact, but I'm absolutely sure of it. There are journalists that aren't journalists, that's for sure, and they're being paid by governments to push a certain agenda. And it's very difficult for people to get their heads around that. It's a cognitive dissonance situation, I think.
Yeah, and then you have, the finance for BBC kind of media action, and them promoting, I think it was with Angelina Jolie, promoting that kind of the vax agenda. I mean, the parties are being financed. There's conflicts of interest.
You two don't look like anarchists, I have to say. But you're obviously angry enough to have travelled all the way from Durham.
yeah.
You've come all the way from Durham today, have you? And what's your view of what's going on?
Well, I just think it's a takeover of our government. I don't know who it is, but Boris Johnson is basically reading from a script. Every time you see him on television, he's reading from a script.
Why are you coming along?
I watched it the last demonstration, and I was so sorry I wasn't here for it. And I look at my children, I look at my family, and I think if we don't do it now, who's going to do it? So I've got up this morning and from Birmingham and caught the train down on my own. And well, I'm not on my own now, obviously, but I knew for a fact once I got here there'd be a lot of like-minded people.
What do you think is going on at the moment?
I think it is a global reset of some sort. They want the rights we have now. They want to change them and bring in a new version, a new order.
Yeah.
Andrew, and I've come down here. I'm not a protester. I've never sort of protested before in my life, but I think we're really running into a dangerous situation here that I don't think the government can control. I think they backed a policy that they they've just lost control of. They backed themselves into the corner, and now they can't come away from it.
What do you think of the media coverage? I keep saying I'm ashamed of the people I used to work with because they're not here and they're calling you guys conspiracy theorists and they're writing off press releases.
No, certainly not conspiracy theorists. And I saw your piece the other day, what the BBC chap had told you. Absolutely shocking. For instance, Norway, I understand, have backtracked on their policy and actually apologised to their people. This is major news. Where is it? And the list goes on.
What's your occupation and where have you come from?
Company director from Hartenden in Hertfordshire. I've got young children, and Anna, I probably would have. We can survive in a mad world. I can survive for myself. I can ignore all this lunacy. But I've got young children. What sort of a world are we handing to them? Mask up? Why? There's not a bit of science in it. I mean, believe me, if this was Ebola or something, I'll nick your mask off you. But it really isn't. And I think the effect of this has been grossly overstated. The Swedes had it right. There's no two ways. The Swedes had it right. And I will add there, Anna, I watched an interesting interview with Anders Tegnell the other day and Andrew Neil. And I have to say, Anders Tegnell is a man, I've never really researched this sort of thing before, but he's a man that I think conducts himself with honour and decorum and is an example to the world. But he did say something very interesting. The Swedes, disbelieving of what they were hearing, did their own modelling, and it came out stunningly accurate to what actually happened in Sweden. So perhaps we ought to be asking how many other countries in Europe actually did their own modelling. I'm guessing not many.
Hi, my name's Ian. I'm here because I feel as though our liberties are being stripped bare. I served the country for 22 years as a soldier. I fought for freedoms that I believe are being eroded and taken away from us for no good reason. That's why I'm here.
What's your message to Boris Johnson?
My message to Boris Johnson is, can you just tell the truth? And why do you keep imposing all these horrible restrictions on people and just taking away any kind of enjoyment? The mental health problems it's causing, physical health as well.
Give us an idea first of all, why are you here?
I'm here because I've got 3 children and I want them to have a decent future. I want them to have what I had when I was a kid. I want them to be outside hugging their friends. My daughter's got loads of friends in school. She wants to hug them, she wants to be around them, she wants to have birthday parties, she wants to visit her family. So I'm here to make a stand and say no, we do not consent to it. It's all madness.
Would your daughter? Would you mind if your daughter spoke? She doesn't have to.
Yeah, sorry.
Are you sure? Yeah. So why are you here, sweetheart?
Well, I really look up to my mum.
What's life like for you now? How does it feel for you, life?
Well, it's a bit weird. Like I'm not used to seeing all these people with muzzles on their faces, and it's just really uncomfortable. It's just weird.
I'm a stay-at-home mum. I'm from Berkshire. I run a kids' craft club, which I've had to cancel due to ridiculous track and trace rules. So, because
you protested before?
I was here in August. That was my first ever protest. I was here in August. I missed most of it because they cancelled all the trains. But I've been here before, and I'll keep coming.
So I was going to finish my interviews, but you came up to me and just told me something pretty sad and very, very tragic.
Yes. Well, my name's Jeanette, and I'm here because I've got tumours, I've got cysts all in my stomach, and as you can see, they're huge. And I'm supposed to be seeing my consultant in July. My consultant appointment was cancelled. It was also cancelled in August, and it was also cancelled in September. I've now begun another appointment for the middle of October by telephone.
Why has it been cancelled?
Well, by COVID.
I'm ex-forces, I'm ex-Coldstream Guards, and our motto is we're second to none. We either go over it, we go round it, or we go through it. This is a wave. Boris Johnson, what's the next wave? Right? Please, we're human beings, we're people. We love our nation, we love our country, and have a guess what? We'll do whatever it takes. You're in Parliament, we put you there, I voted you. Do your job. Please do your job and look after us. And that's what it's all about.
Thank you.
I'm writing, please stop playing on people's fear and guilt.
Please stop playing on people's fear and guilt. Is it the government or the media that are doing that?